Bunker.
What is good? What is going on? And what is cracking? I am Philly Foothills, and I am back in another episode of East Meets West with two of the best. My guy here, AK Eagles, to my left of the Eagles Uncensored podcast, and Vic 3 down below me. What's going on? What's going on, everybody in the chat? How we doing tonight?
Doing great, man. Doing great. You know, it's just another Wednesday sitting here talking about football, you know.
Yes, sir. Vic, what's good? What's good?
Yeah, man, like you already know, just went out, did the tree, got the family thing going on, and now we're about to kick it with my guys. Let's get it.
Absolutely. We already got 5 people here. So salute to the 5. Nightings was here first, so big salute to Nightings. Glad to see you back in the chats and things like that. So happy holidays to everybody. Even this troller right here. Even this one. You know,
Lex Luthor in the building.
I keep it fuego, so happy holidays to everybody. You know, happy holidays definitely to everybody. You know, happy Hanukkah to my guy Vic. Definitely. I hope you're having a blessed Hanukkah.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Everyone, Festivus for the rest of us.
Oh my God, yo, you gotta send him the clip I sent you. You have to send him the clip.
What, did you send it to me or send it to Foothills?
Remember the one I sent you, the 15-16?
The 15-16?
No, you have to send that shit to him. Yo, what?
Yeah, I will.
Oh my God, dude. Tell me this is not Vic. Hands down. This bro literally is Vic. He has his fucking glasses. He lost his shit. He messaged me. He's like, bro, that is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
I think I watched that like 6-7 times straight, right back to back.
We got a bunch of people in the chat. We got Jay Bug. We got Papa Sora. We got Jay Milt. Thank BLSG. Thanks Wolf. We got the loyal ones in the building. So thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it.
Wolf, that was good, my guy.
Are you? He's still probably double dipping. We know what that means.
Hey, it's the holiday season. It's time to drop all that baggage off, my guy. You better save up.
Right?
Save up.
Let's see here. Let me try to catch up to these where I was at in the comments here. Let's see. We are still the beast in the East. Fly Eagles fly. Absolutely, Jay Milt.
Yes,
He also said smash that like button. And if you're feeling generous, subscribe. Absolutely. And it's always free to subscribe, you know? Definitely. You guys make sure that you hit the whatever channel you're on right now. Go to the other two at some point. Hit that like button because it helps our content get pushed out there more and more and helps us grow. You know, it really does. Yes. So really appreciate it. Make sure you're subscribed to all of us. Definitely hit that, turn on that notification bell. That way you always get notified with all of our content.
I am at 270 now. Appreciate the love and support. I've gained like 20 subs over the last 3 days. You know, keep it coming. I appreciate it. You know, I would love to be at 300 right around Christmas time. So we got a little bit of time yet. And, you know, I'd really like to achieve that goal. So definitely thank you for everyone who's helped out so far.
Heck yeah, man. I just hit 75, you know, 25 away from my first 100. You know what I mean? I'm new. I'm still fresh. It's still coming up. So appreciate everyone that followed, man. And everyone that's in the chat. Like I said, thank you for coming through.
Yes. Thank you. Absolutely. Like and subscribe, Food and Water the channel. Yes, Jay Mill. He knows how it's done. Yes, sir. Got another show starting Saturday with Vic. Hey, well, that's cool. Good. You guys gonna be a good pair.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
The J Boog and Vic show, huh?
J Boogie and Vic.
Right?
Is it called Vic's Boogie?
Now we were just talking. Now we were just talking about it today. So I was just like, how the wife just got Saturday nights back, and I was like, she ain't letting it go. So I was like, it's gonna have to be something during the daytime.
Absolutely. Sure. The Angel, we appreciate it. Nightings. Shout out to Key in the building. She put that together. So big shout out to Key.
Yes.
Yeah, most definitely.
She's
Awesome.
a goat. Sub her up, definitely.
Gio, what's going on, my guy? Gio from the 215.
Yo.
Appreciate you checking in. He also said dope intro. Yeah, shout out to Key once again. Big shout out to Key. Really appreciate that, Key. Thank you for putting that together for us. What up? What up, Jinx? What up? What up?
What's up, Jinx?
Right? Doesn't it feel good now that we have our intro? You know what I mean? Before we had our little things, we did our little individual, but when we're a unit, man, we like Voltron. We out here attacking.
Sir.
Yep. Yo, and shout out to our other channel that we got going on right now too. The Wandering Minds on Monday night. I got Victory on there, my dude Foothills as well. We got some other content creators that are with us. Zion, who's very knowledgeable. We got Logan. Gio's even going to start being a part of that with us. But Monday nights are Conspiracy Monday nights. It's kind of our time to step back away from football a little bit and, just talk about stuff that is different. Because talking about the same thing over and over can get old after a while. So just gives us something, to relax our minds and just, talk some shit about conspiracy theories, how we believe, how we feel, and we notice that people are mature enough to have those conversations without being offended. So, we do them. And it was very successful, the very first one. Shout out to everyone who was involved. And, we'll keep doing them as long as people's into it. So thank you. Appreciate that.
Most definitely. We got a big timer in the house. I think he's about to hit, I think he's less than 100 away from hitting 3K.
3K.
Yes. So shout out to Joe Castro, Philly the podcast. Oh, another great Eagles content creator. Take my jacket
Mr.
off.
3000 about to be.
Sir, congratulations to you, sir.
That's your new tag right there, man. Mr. 3000.
Right? Absolutely. Thank you for checking in, Joe. We appreciate it.
Hey, everyone, if you haven't already, man, go subscribe. Help my man get to 3,000.
Rip that thing, J Boog. Rip it up. Uh-oh. That's not going to end well.
Oh, it's time to well. See, now we're gonna come face to face. Now you've come to that point where you're meeting the family. Like I said, for the story, it's funny, but in real life, it's a situation you're about to put yourself into if you can record it.
Oh man, yeah, that's a tangled web, buddy. Just put it that way. That is a tangled web.
Just remember what I told you a couple of weeks back, my dog. That's still on the table.
No, honesty don't hurt.
Right?
You never know. You get to make a decision. You
Mine wasn't honesty.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Shit.
Fake your death. Because one of them's going to kill you anyway.
I just feel like, listen, I like both of you.
I'm kidding.
I know what to do. I was scared. I was nervous. And you might possibly get one that likes you and one that might hate you. But that one that hates you will be quiet at the Christmas party. But the one that likes you will still be all over you. And you win.
Make sure there's no sharp objects around the entire night as well.
And most importantly, make sure the parents don't know, because if they do, it's a wrap. You're not even getting invited. You're not coming inside.
You might be living in their basement.
And imagine if you were down alone.
I wouldn't be surprised if the sisters already know, and they're just setting them up at this point. They're setting them up for something. They're gonna they're gonna watch out for the pie in the face, Jinx. Don't get too close to the pies.
Yeah,
Jinx, no lie, bro. Just change your social security number, change your name.
It's time to disappear. What do they say? Get disappeared.
Yeah.
So, are we feeling?
No doubt.
Are we feeling the bye week already?
Yeah, man, I like the bye week. It's like I said in my thing, it's a relaxing moment. We don't have to worry about winning. We don't have to worry about losing. We don't have to worry about a quarterback controversy, any discussion. It's just a week to reflect. That's all we got right now. We're gonna have this week to take off and get right back at it next week against Washington.
Yeah, and there was some news about Washington today. I don't know if you guys heard, but Montez Sweat was supposed to come back this week, but he caught COVID, so he's going to be out at least another 10 days, and that means he might miss the next 2 games. Yeah. So he possibly might miss our game in 2 weeks. So that's that's another loss for them, because they were expecting him to be back this week.
COVID, man, that's T's and P's. Hopefully nothing serious. You never know with COVID; it could take anyone. But yeah, man, it sucks for him, because like you were saying, he was working hard to get back on the field, and literally the day that he comes back, it's just like, nah, turn right back around and go home. It's like, you can't be here. I'm sorry.
Right.
No, all honesty, it's not really that big of a loss. I mean, they're on a 4-game win streak without him. This team is definitely the team you got to worry about out of these last 4. Listen, Washington's on a high note right now, and especially if they beat Dallas this weekend, God knows what they're going to think.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
They think highly of Heineke. You can see this team believes in this kid offensively. All his linemen do, and he's very underrated as a quarterback. Heineke has shown a lot this year and showed that, he should probably be the guy going forward. It is very hard to say that we can sweep them. I do not see that happening. I believe they do get one of them, because they are a tough team, man, with or without their stars. So now I will admit Thomas is a huge loss, that losing their tight end, but Heineke will probably figure it out, man.
I mean, he's shown that. I mean, he's been winning with pretty much the cast that they're going to have. So he's going to keep doing his thing, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if Washington wins, because I'm picking them to win this week over Dallas.
Well, if you look at that Washington team, aside of the poor performance their defense has had this whole year, look at their offense though. They have 2 good running backs in Gibson and McKissick. Gibson this whole season pretty much played with a fractured leg. And he still got. He still produced what he did. That's pretty admirable. He played most of the whole season with a fractured leg. I think he only had 1 week off, and then they went into their bye week. Then you look at their receiving corps.
Yeah,
Terry. He's on pace for a good season too. Heineke, he's been playing better than anyone would have expected. We seen last season when he went against Tampa in that playoff game. You saw a lot of moxie out of that kid. You saw a lot of potential. But no one ever thought going into the next season that he would have a chance or would even be playing. And here we are. Like he's proving himself, and giving the Redskins a little controversy. And should they be going for a quarterback in the draft next year? Because Ron Rivera, like you said, he likes Heineke. He likes what he sees out the kid. He likes how high his ceiling could potentially be. And when you look at Heineke, man, like he emulates his guy Brett Favre. He wears the number 4 for a reason. He got that moxie, man. You gotta like him. You got good attitude. And he got that team believing. That's all you really need. You know, when we went into our Super Bowl season, the only reason why we played so well in those playoffs is because we actually believed in Nick Foles. And that belief carried us through. And that you see, that's the same thing that's happening in Washington right now. 4-game win streak. You know, that's good on you. But, you know, now we're going to be facing him, and hopefully we can stop that win streak.
I mean, for the Washington football team fans, they would love that he would have the, you know, the moxie of a Favre, but I definitely would think that they would be worried about, you know, if he's going to be that aggressive like Favre is about the turnovers. Because I heard a crazy stat earlier by Greeny on ESPN Radio. He was talking about Aaron Rodgers, you know, because they were actually talking about, you know, who is the greatest Green Bay Packer quarterback of all time, and it's obviously Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers has now played a year more than Favre, and he has an astronomically. He's got. Aaron Rodgers has less than 100 interceptions, and Favre at that point has well over 200. So it was like Aaron Rodgers could throw an interception on the next 100 and something plays straight and still not have as many as Brett Favre. So, you know, it's one thing to definitely.
Rodgers only has 93 interceptions his whole career.
Right.
So
but I would still argue that. I would still argue that Favre is better because, again, how many NFC championship games has Rodgers went to? How many divisional championship games has Rodgers went to?
That's our argument.
Got one Super Bowl. That's it. They haven't really done much in the playoffs. When you look at Favre's record and look at how many teams Favre got, teams in the playoffs. Again, look at his age with the Vikings. With the Jets. The Jets were a viable option with Favre on that team. And they were a shit show. They had an old LaDainian Tomlinson that couldn't do much. Favre carried that team, even though he was throwing interceptions left right, but he was doing all he can. But when he was with Green Bay, that team was put on the map with Favre, and that team when they had Reggie White. But Favre was the centerpiece. Favre carried that team literally for 10 years. You can say Aaron Rodgers is great. He has good stats. But where has that team really been throughout his whole tenure? Again, one Super Bowl, and I believe one NFC championship, aside of the one before the Super Bowl. So that's 2 NFC championships, excuse me. I know Favre has way more. And those matchups, when you look back then, you look forward to seeing the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers, the Green Bay Packers and the Cowboys. You look forward to those games. What game that, Rodgers has played you look forward to other than maybe the Bears because he owns them? I think I would argue Favre is better, but, people come out with stats, and the stats will tell you otherwise. But you got to look at the game that Favre played compared to the game that Aaron Rodgers has been playing and what defenses can do.
AK, you look like you got something to say.
I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole.
It's anyone's opinion. Like I said, a lot of people wouldn't like Rodgers.
Yeah, no, that's why I said that. Like, yeah. I mean, listen, man. I grew up watching both of them. I got to see Favre and I got to see Rodgers. In their own rights, they're both great. But if I had to choose between them both, I mean, I am taking Rodgers before Favre. But that's just my own personal opinion because, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is truly great, man. He really is. I will not lie. I've seen him do some things only certain quarterback, probably no one will ever do again. I mean, the way he can throw a football, man, it's quite ridiculous. So, like I said, they're both great in their own way, but in my opinion, Aaron Rodgers is over Favre. But that's just me.
I mean, if I'm building a team, yeah, because he's going to take care of the football a lot better for me. So that would be my choice too. But to each their own opinion, definitely. I wanted that since we're on quarterbacks, let's. I want to throw this. I want to ask the chat's opinion on this too. As far as if you're in the mindset of us making a playoff run, who are we getting behind? Who's your quarterback? Who do you think gives us the best chance in the system right now with the pieces that we have around us? So, Vic, what do you think? I want to get your opinion on this one.
With me, it's pretty plain and simple. Who have you been watching this whole season? Who has been playing this whole season? Who has been with this team this whole season? You have a lot of tape for Jalen Hurts. You've seen one game out of Gardner Minshew. You can't tell me you possibly could think that he could do better than Jalen Hurts off of that one game. Let's leave it at that.
Gotcha. AK?
I am so with you, but for a different reason. Listen, in my opinion, you have to roll with Hurts at this point because this is his evaluation year. And you want to know if this kid is going to be a franchise quarterback or not. Well, now's your chance to know. He knows what these last 4 games mean. We know what these last 4 games mean. So he knows that he needs to win them. If he wins these games, he wins your heart. If he loses these games, he loses your heart and probably loses his job. So, on that note, you started it with him to evaluate him. It's only fair to let him finish what he started, see what he's got, and this is how you'll know right here and now what we have. That's why I started.
I got you. Okay. Well, in my opinion, I think Jalen is going to learn. He's going to learn probably more. Possibly, not. I mean, this is my opinion, obviously, but I think he could definitely learn a lot from watching a veteran take command of this offense in Gardner Minshew, and really because I've seen. I mean, it was just one game, but I'm hearing, interviews from players like Miles Sanders, who are, really excited about Gardner Minshew. They're behind him, and he's the kind of quarterback that, he's gonna get the guys fired up. He's cracking jokes in the huddle, but he's also in command of the offense as well. So I think that for the if we really want to make a playoff push, I think Minshew fits Sirianni's system better than Hurts does right now.
Now I have a question. If
Yeah.
you're saying Gardner Minshew would fit for Sirianni's system for right now, because that's exactly what it would be right now. So then you've given up on Hurts. Now you're going to have to go into this offseason looking for a quarterback in the draft.
No, not necessarily.
You're going to do what you've constantly been doing. You're going to go for the backup, hope that he works out, and not focus on the future.
Well, just because, I don't think that Hurts not playing.
We're moving our hope from one quarterback to the next. That's all we're doing.
Closing the book on him in Philadelphia. I don't think that's necessarily true.
But then Gardner Minshew wouldn't be the number one guy. Again, he would have to go through an evaluation process. So again, we're going to start all over again. Another season to give someone an evaluation. Another year. So again, we're at a point is if he's the guy or not. If he's not, we're moving on to someone new. Not to Gardner Minshew, not to another backup. Someone new. That would be the situation.
Yeah, I think we've seen Hurts make rookie mistakes, and I don't think you're going to get those from Gardner Minshew. So if your goal is to make a playoff push this year, Sirianni's system needs a typical, a prototypical drop back passer, and that's what Minshew is. That Hurts isn't that. That's why they always have him in the shotgun. So,
who did Howie go out to see? Who did Howie go out to see not that long ago? Who's been rising up the quarterback charts?
Is it that kid from the one?
Pitt. Kenny Pickett. And now Pittsburgh has their eyes locked on the kid. Pittsburgh right now is praying to God that somehow he falls to them. This early in the season, they know Roethlisberger's done with. Their attention is focused on Pickett now. A lot of teams are noticing. It's going to be a race for Pickett. He's going to get some attention. It's going to get hot. I told you, we're in December now. Now things are going to start to heat up. Now quarterbacks' names that you didn't hear before are going to get mentioned. Now we're going to have a consensus number 1 and number 2 quarterback. All that starts in December. All that starts after the Heisman Trophy. Get ready for it. It's about to begin.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I am not at all saying that I'm trying to look for a quarterback in the offseason. I don't think that putting Hurts on the bench for a little while, having him learn under Minshew is I don't think that's necessarily closing the book for him in Philadelphia. I think he could still be our starting quarterback come next season. If that makes any sense at all.
It does, but my thing is for that player and Jalen Hurts, you lost confidence in me when you benched me when you started Gardner Minshew. What need do again? We're talking about NFL players. We know how they act. What need do I need to be on this team? I want to be on a team that needs me. I want to be on a team that's going to believe me. You don't. You're saying I still need time. I don't believe that. I want a team that believes that I can start.
I mean, if Minshew were to come out, if Minshew were to start against Washington and win, would your guys' tune change a little bit?
Because again, like I said, the definition of madness is continue to do something and expecting it to change. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to go to the backup, hope he's the future, give him a season, give him an elevation. And then if he's not, what are we stuck with? Whoever's our backup, right? Then we're going to do that again. It's a vicious cycle that we're running here. We got to break it somehow.
That's the thing. Minshew plays like he's not the backup, though. He plays like he's the fucking guy.
So did Nick Foles at one time.
That's interesting that you say that name.
Again, but that's the thing with Philadelphia. We love the backup. Philadelphia fans love the backup. He's the number one guy. Number one guy on the team is the Philadelphia backup.
How could you not love that energy? That guy he's electric. He's electric. He's a freaking wrestler in football pads.
But they call him Uncle Rico.
Right?
I love it.
AK, come on, let's hear something.
Listen, man, I get where you're coming from. Okay. I even said it in Vic's thing after the game, his post game show. If you maybe Minshew is the guy to win like right now because he is the vet. Like you have to realize he does have 30 games, I guess, under his belt, something like that. So he has had way more time. So I understand that, but that's what I was saying though. You might as well finish out Jalen's year. I mean, like I said, this is it. His evaluation comes down to these 4 games. That's how you're going to know what direction this organization goes to at the end of the year. If he wins out and we make the playoffs, or even if he goes 3-1 and we make the playoffs, more than likely he's here next year. But if he goes
what if Hurts goes out and lays a stinker like he did against the Giants?
That's what I was going to say. And maybe you might even see this, though. I mean, Jalen might start and say he comes out in Washington and he goes, we'll just say 79 yards and 2 interceptions, okay, for some odd reason. Just say it happens, okay? Maybe you might see that swap just to see. But that's a hard maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know what it would take for them to do that. I'm just being realistic, though, man. Like, you got to let them finish. That's just all I'm saying is you got to let them, because then you're going to just ask yourself, well, what if? You never know by that point then. So if he tanks, then you start talking about your Kenny Pickett or your Russell Wilson or your whoever, But if he does good, who knows what direction we go. So that's where I leave it.
Got you. I mean, it's a tough call because if you're looking to, and I agree with you. It's not me saying that I think Hurts is not the guy and he can't be the guy. I just think that he's just not ready to be the guy right now. So that's our that's our opinions on that, definitely. But as far as the bye week couldn't have come at a better time. Obviously, I mean we're a little dinged up with our running backs. Howard's still nursing the knee. Miles Sanders, re-injured the ankle at the end of that game on Sunday, and
Kels.
Thank God Kels is not too bad. That's the heart and soul of our offensive line. So he goes down for any time, then that's definitely going to cause a huge problem, I think, because you've seen Herbig try to be a center, and it's not been working too well. So I don't know if I think they signed Luke Juriga to the practice squad. So I don't know, maybe that they might bring him up to the active roster at some point.
Well, they signed LaRaven Clark too. Remember?
Yeah, big guy gets signed finally.
Yeah. Very cool. So I mean, what was I going to ask you guys? The team has definitely looked good at times this year, and they've looked bad at times this year. So, as far as your evaluation of this team, Vic, right now, what are your thoughts? Heading down the stretch run of the season.
Well, I would have really loved if we would have won that Giants game, because it would have put us in a better position, the position where I thought we would be with at least one win, another win against the Jets. They're riding high, and they're going into the bye week, going into it with rest now, coming against a 5-game stretch, which are all division opponents. I was hoping that we can just run the gamut, take down Dallas in the last game, and that would be our key to getting into the playoffs, because we're still in the hunt. I mean, even though we had some ups and downs, we're still in the hunt. Looking right at my wife, as I state, we're still in the hunt. Cowboys, we know how it works out. Once it gets to December, they start to falter, which they are. You know what I mean? But as for the Eagles, I think going into this bye week, they're still going to use that as rest, and going to this next 5 games, it's going to be tough for them. They're going to have to win, especially against the Redskins. That right now is a tough team. Dallas is a far thought. I don't want to go that far. And I don't want to overlook, anyone else. But right now, we got to focus on the Redskins, because they are a tough team. They're riding high. If we could take a team like that down, that would only help us out in our confidence going forward. So, the bye week, like you said, it came at a great time.
Absolutely. What's going on, Prime Time? Thank you for checking in. Mitch Kofsky, how you doing, sir? You're not making the playoffs with defense. I don't trust it.
Mr. Negative.
Right? Welcome in, Mr. Negative, Mitch Kofsky.
I think Ben Simmons soured him so much. For real.
Yeah, you're probably right about that, actually.
He's not lying, though. I mean, not about the playoff thing, but I don't trust this defense. But I still think we can make playoffs, maybe, if we buckle down and work our asses off to do it.
I still can't believe we still don't have that queued up. It's a Jim Moore playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Oh,
what's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Exactly.
You gotta love old Jim Mora.
All right.
Mr. Negative, Mitch Kofsky.
Come on, man.
It's all love, bro.
Where's his clip?
I'm betting.
Fuego, cue up the Mitch Kofsky clip. That's Mitch's thoughts on making the playoffs.
That's the face you make when someone asks you if you're okay with the in-laws coming over for the night. Just crying inside.
Right. It's almost Joker-esque, that laugh. It's pretty good.
I thought that too.
Right? Playoffs.
Almost need an exorcist in that fucking clip, man. The demon was coming out of that boy.
There's a little pain in that laughter.
Right. But I mean, we're definitely. I mean, I think we are a team that our division does not want to play right now because we're running the hell out of the ball. You know, we're running the ball at. I don't even know what we're averaging this year, but I know it's well over 150 yards a game. I know that for a fact.
We're still ranked, what, second?
We're number one.
We're number one right now?
I thought
yeah, I mean, we're definitely, our offensive line is doing a great job at run blocking. The running backs, you know, Miles Sanders had a pretty decent game this past Sunday, so that was good to see. You know, he's been struggling, and I don't know, as far as, you know, the offense, it's going to be interesting to see how we kind of come out of the bye, because it's going to be Sirianni's first bye week, so he's going to obviously the guys are going to get some rest, but he's got a good amount of time to game plan for the football team. So I want to see a very good game plan out of the coaching staff come next Sunday. And is that the one that got flexed to Sunday Night Football, or is it the other game against the football team? You guys know?
No, I don't currently.
Sunday Night Football this weekend's Green Bay Bears.
No, but I think one of our games against Washington got flexed to Sunday Night Football, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I'm not sure which one.
The second one, then.
Let me look at that.
If the Green Bay's already locked in, it
might be the second game, because I'm pretty sure it's just Green Bay Chicago this weekend.
Even though that's a crap game.
I know too, right?
I'd move away from that game.
You all know what's going to happen. They're going to get their asses stomped.
I thought one of them got. I guess they didn't. I thought one of them got flexed into the Sunday night. I guess not. They're both showing at their early game.
We haven't proved ourselves enough for a flex.
I guess not. But I'm telling you, if Minshew Mania takes off, look out, because that's going to that gets ratings.
I don't want to see everyone with those fucking stupid mustaches. I swear to God, go crazy. Because you know that's what's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. You're going to see mullets out the ass like, oh, God, please keep him on the bench where he belongs.
It's good to be king. Yeah, king of Russian right now we are. Hell yeah. I remember that last year was flexed to Sunday Night Football. Yeah, I thought I heard that like a couple weeks ago though.
Yeah,
but they usually announce something like that like on a Monday or Tuesday before the game.
Yeah.
Because they have like so long to advise.
Sometimes they do it a few weeks early. It depends on how they, how schedules are playing out and teams are winning and things like that, or losing.
What were you trying to say, AK?
I was going to say, well, unfortunately, this QB thing is going to be talked about until the end of the season, whether we like it or not.
I'm happy that it hasn't been so blown over proportion, but it's been a decent, I've seen some stories here and there, but it hasn't been anything over the top.
Yeah. I think that's because of how contained Hurts is. You know,
I have a question though. I
no
have just a
point.
theory, just a thought. If we move, say, if that was to be the case, that Jalen Hurts has a horrible performance, you start Gardner Minshew, and then next season we are talking about looking at another quarterback, whether it's a veteran or whatever, it's someone from the draft, whatever the case may be. And there's reports out there now that Seattle's a rebuilding team, and Pete Carroll has already made it clear, crystal clear, he's not trying to be a part of a rebuilding team. He's going to leave Seattle at the end of the season. That whole history is done with that. Looks like Russell might be on his way out too. Now Russell, I really don't care for, but if we're going to move on for a quarterback, you got to look at this whole season as a whole. If you're giving everyone a valuation, Nick Sirianni didn't look so great either. Would you be interested if we're already on that mode of training, moving on from this quarterback? Would you be okay with possibly moving on from the coach as well, especially when you have an option like Carroll available?
I don't think that's going to happen anyway. If you look back in our history, we've never just been a one and done person. Everyone's had 2 to 3 years. I don't think that they're just going to just throw away everything like instantly. That's not like Jeffrey, So I think we're pretty much going to have to deal with everyone a second year for the most part. I mean, maybe JG will go. I won't lie. I would like to see that happen. But I still have doubt. Yeah, I still have doubt on that, though, because, I mean, if JG or if Nick really, truly does believe in him, who knows? He might vouch for him again and put his job on the line for it. I don't know.
Well, I meant more for you, not more of actually what will happen. Would you make that move? If you were given the opportunity to do it, would you make that move?
I don't think so.
You said if Sean Payton or somebody like that's on the market?
Yeah, like whoever it would be. Like I'm just saying, just to move on from the coach, if someone like that would be on, like I said, Carroll, the Payton's on the market, would you make that move? Would you make the move? I'm just saying for you, not to say what would actually happen. For you, if you were GM, would you make that move to move on from the coach as well?
Sean Payton, yes.
You told, yeah. I'm moving on for that. I mean, it's listen. Nick has shown me some progress, but don't get me wrong here. I mean, if you're talking about the category of Sean Payton over Nick Sirianni, well, I'm taking Sean Payton any day of the week. I mean, he's proven. Yeah, he might be in a rough stretch right now, but maybe just a change of scenery is all that man needs, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, his accolades speak for themselves, so of course I'm going to take that. I'd even say if it was Mike Tomlin, I would do it, but yeah, it would have to be someone with accolades. But if you're just telling me like it would be for like Joe Brady or somebody just kind of in his status form, then no, I'm still sticking with Nick because he's at least shown progress. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, especially with Tomlin. I agree 1,000%. I don't care who it is. I'm moving on from anyone to get a game. What do you think, Foothills? You're not making that move. You're staying put.
What does this clown say? You guys are not.
I don't know.
You are clowns, Papa, and backyards hurts is not the answer. Oh yeah, that's that hater.
He's talking to the backyard.
Well, shout out to you because I always see you in the chat, so I appreciate you, fan. Even though you got some off the stat comments. Hey man, I appreciate you. We ain't gonna shut you down. Thank you for tuning in. Your viewership counts.
Right.
If you could, by the way, subscribe, share. Don't be greedy. Help out, my guy. You can do it in a hateful way. It's okay. I'm okay.
Hey, no opinion, stupid. You're right. You're right to your own opinion. It is what it is.
Yeah. And in regards to the question, Vic, Sean Payton, hell yeah, I'm all in on Sean Payton. If he wants to come to Philly and run this team the way we know he can run a football team, then yes. Pete Carroll, yeah, I think I'm good. I think he just he got lucky with Russell Wilson, getting Russell Wilson and having a very, very good defense behind Russell Wilson because we all know, it's an old cliche, but it's true. Defense wins championships. Russell Wilson, was never, he never did anything super spectacular. He just won because he had good weapons, receiver, and he's had Lockett over the years. He's had those other guys, and yes, absolutely. Can't forget, taste the rainbow. Absolutely, So he didn't do it alone, and I don't think I don't know. I just don't think Carroll's to me, he's not on that same level as a Sean Payton. He's on that second tier probably. Sean Payton's on that top tier. He's up there with, in my opinion, he's up there right now with obviously with Belichick, with Andy Reid, with I'll even put a Kyle Shanahan up there. I'll even put even though his team's been kind of questionable this year with the new quarterback though, but with Matthew Stafford, but even Sean McVay, exactly. I would put him in that. He's either in that top tier or he's in that next one. He's definitely up there because I got a lot of respect for that guy.
Well, let me put it in. Let me throw you a little curveball here. Say at the end of this year, you start dabbling into head coaches a little bit because you're not sure even as a front office. Oh, Nick, excuse me. I'm not as far to going as saying that I'm not even in the realm of dabbling into a defensive head coach. I would like to see a defensive head coach again. And let me put it to you this way. Todd Bowles. I will take Todd Bowles over Nick Sirianni any day. I'm sorry. I will. Because I want a defensive head coach again because maybe we'll get our defense on track again. And that way you have an offensive coordinator, and then that offensive coordinator just controls that offense. You don't have a head coach lingering over an offensive coordinator, all this bull, blah, blah, blah. He can go, hey, here's the offense. Here's who you got. Do what you do. I got to go work on the defense. So, yeah, that's who I would put as my candidate would be Todd Bowles.
It's interesting.
I can't hate on that because I think when Todd Bowles went to New York that first time, he had a pretty good team. That team was winning. They were a fighting team, like constant. They weren't giving up. They weren't the Jets you see today. They were a well-performing team. Just because circumstances and the GM that they had at the time, it didn't work out. But you've seen, he's rebounding. He's doing great. Yeah, if with a second opportunity, who knows?
He's made people look good, bro.
Yeah, I would never argue against Todd Bowles. Like I said, I think coaches when they have issues the first time around, they go back, they go to the defensive coordinator, whatever their coordinator positions, and they just learn. They think about what happened their first tenure, and they just learn from that and they grow. And they, like Pete Carroll's one of the guys too. You just learn everything you did wrong, and you just try to get better from that. And you don't do those things.
Bro, but he coached Cincy. I mean,
yeah.
Let's be realistic.
Like I said, I know it's never going to happen, but if Mike Tomlin would ever be available, and if Jeffrey Lurie or Howard Roseman could swing that devil's tongue to get him over here, I would love it. He would be my defensive guy.
Right.
I think he's one of the ultimate coaches. He commands respect. He's a great coach all around, a great guy all around. That's someone who you want on this team. And when you're looking at, especially with every year, you have turnover, you have new guys coming through. That's a coach that, rookies come in and they respect. They see his legacy. They see the things he's done. They've seen the guys he coached. They have nothing but respect for them. They want to play hard. Pittsburgh's, lucky that they have the coach that they have. Because, Bill Cowher, they only have a handful of coaches. And it's for a reason. Like, those guys stick around because, they work at their craft and they're very good at it. Mike Tomlin's one of those guys. He's going to be a Hall of Famer one day.
No lie, bro. If they could somehow hijack somebody from their fucking scouting department to be our GM, I would love that shit. Because, dude, they can scout the shit out of talent, bro. No, that's what I'm saying, though. I mean, you think – no, they still do, bro. I mean, you think about the Steelers, man. They always can draft defense. Always. You look back, their defense has always been Pittsburgh. You know, they're always great at doing that. They're always great at drafting wide receivers. They've always had a good wide receiver, you know, always. And you just got to look at it. I just really like what Pittsburgh all around has built there. You know, they can keep coaches for 20 years and not have an issue. You know, you see it all the time. They've had 3 coaches in the last 30, you know, so yeah, more teams need to pay attention.
Yeah.
Hey, salute to the 12 and the 12, 11 or 12 we have in the live stream right now. Thank you guys for being here. We really, really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And make sure you, like I always say, you guys are the food and water of the channel. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to all 3 of us. Whichever channel you're on right now, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you do that. Make sure you go to each channel because we are not live on 1, not live on 2, but we are live on all 3 of our channels right now. So make sure that you go smash that like on all 3 of our channels and share it. Go put it out there. See if we can get some more people in here to really enjoy this this bye week because you know, this is a good time to, you know, sit back, reflect a little bit, and you know, just really get a state of how we're feeling about this football team right now.
I gotta ask you guys a curious question.
Go ahead. Go ahead, okay.
What's going on, Sports? On that Jets game, you know, whenever Miles got hurt and stuff around the 10-minute mark, you know, I even caught myself asking this question. When we're up like that, do you pull these guys? You know, like Pels, Miles, you know, certain ones, because, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, especially with Miles, you know, he's coming back off that ankle. He already had 120 yards. Gainwell was looking really decent. He had some nice rushes. Just let him finish off the day, you know, because let him get a little more experience. You know, like there's got to be points to where, you know, because of how long our season was already going straight, you know, week after week, just to give them a little extra rest. What do you guys feel about that?
It's funny that you say that because I was gonna bring that up too, and being that this is an extra long season this year, this is the first 17 week, you know, or 18 week, I should say, 17 game season that there's ever been in the NFL. I absolutely would be pulling guys if we're up in games, and I was questioning that myself when Jordan Howard got hurt because we were stomping the New Orleans Saints at that point. I think we were up 27-7, if I'm not mistaken, when he got hurt. So I'm not having my running back anywhere near the football field if we're up more than two scores. Seriously, if it gets within 14 points, then we could talk about getting him back in the game. But
yeah,
especially as dominant as Jordan Howard has been in that run game, he's a key piece for us. So I would definitely say yes, AK. We get up, get the starters out. Vic, what do you think?
Well, I think it only lasted my tree 50 minutes before it fucking fell. I just look over and just timber. So for y'all that don't know, I got a tree that was too big for this house. But it's okay. I'll get it back up in a minute. But going back to your question, AK, definitely, yeah, you have to rest, especially with this long season. But the thing is, we haven't really been up all that much to give our team an opportunity to rest. New Orleans is probably the one and only game that we were up like that. And Atlanta, but that was the first game of the year. You don't really do it then. If we had a team that was constantly up, then yeah, by all means, rest those guys. We're never in those situations. We're always trying to come back. We're always trying to keep the lead. We're never in a position where we have a comfortable lead that much. We're always trying to fight in order to get back in the game. If it was the other way around, we were coasting, yeah, by all means, rest those guys. But we're never in that position.
But we were against the Jets. That's my
The
point.
Jets, I think it was with the Jets. It was more of the second half, maybe in the third, fourth. Some people, but
no lie, you could have put them in during the fourth because by the start of the fourth, we already were up by 10 points. I mean,
with Miles,
10 points, but that's what even Foothills said. If they do come back, then just reinsert them. I mean, but it was very unlikely. And I wasn't talking defensive replacements. I was just talking about like Kels and Miles, and because of their injuries already, but.
Well, I was going to say with Miles, the reason why he was in so long is because he was doing so well. And again, it was a career high for him. So again, once you're at the career, they're going to let you go as far as you can go. If you could break 200 yards, go ahead, go do it. Miles was having a career day, so he was going to be on the field as much as he wanted. As for Kels, yeah, that kind of scares me. But then when you look at who's your alternative in Nate Herbig, you're not going to make that move again. Because again, then you would be in that situation where the team could come back. Then you got to put Kelsey out there. Now you're really going to risk him an injury because now you're fighting to come back or stay in the lead. So I would just say if we're not in a position, like you said, 2 touchdowns, my thing is if we're up 3 and we're in the fourth quarter, rest those guys. If we're still in the third, you're going to play. The only time you're getting a rest is in the fourth. You're never going to get rested any time before.
It's okay.
I mean, I could see how some people would say it could screw with the, with the rhythm of the offense and the timing and things like that. But I don't know. Especially key players, guys who may have had issues with injuries in the past, I would definitely lean towards the cautionary side. In my opinion, that's what you have your backups for. They're not just there to play when the starters get hurt. They're there to sub in when you're up big in games and you don't want your starters to get hurt. That's what they're there for. Whether when you want to admit it or not, that's part of the game, and that's the honest truth about it. So, it is what it is.
I definitely agree with you, AK. Like I said, if you would do something in the fourth quarter, and like a move that I've been saying that needs to be made is put Dickerson at center already. If you're up in the fourth quarter, up 3 touchdowns, and you have just garbage time, let the guy run the offense. Put him in at center. Because again, that was the point of drafting him. So, and sometime you're going to have to transition him. Why not start now? Again, like perfect situation. You're up by 3. You're in the fourth quarter. You got 10 minutes to go. Get in at center. I want to see what you can do. Lead me another drive. Let's go up by 4. Let's go up by 4 scores. Let's see what you can do. Let me see how you call your protection. Let me see what you can do.
Yeah, I like this comment by Sports with Commas said the Jets scored touchdowns on their first 3 drives. So I want to hear your guys' opinion and everybody in the chat as well. Shout out to the 6 right now, the 7 that is in the live stream. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let us know in the chat what you guys think too. Are we concerned about the defense right now, being that the New York stinking ass Jets did score on the very first scored touchdowns on their first 3 drives. Yes, our defense did adjust in the second half, but I want to get your guys' thoughts on that. AK, I want to hear from you first, buddy.
I wouldn't say as far as saying I'm worried about our players as much as I am about how fast JG can make an adjustment on defense. Because, you saw after they scored 18 points, that's the last they really scored. He adjusted, locked them down in the second half, and, it looked completely different. But it really takes him a long time to assess shit and to come up with a plan on how to correct it and to be effective. So, that's the one worry I have with it. It's not as much our players as it is him. And that comes from lack of experience. But still, to be a defensive coach, that's what you're paid to do, and to do it quickly. And we just haven't seen that from him. It's either his plans work really well from beginning to end, or they're just not there, period, half the time. So.
Yeah. Vic, what do you think?
I'm definitely concerned about our defense. Especially when you were talking about Jonathan Gannon, this whole season, would you say our team in the beginning of any game seemed prepared? Have they been, doing what they needed to do. You know, there's been spurts, like you said before, where Gannon kind of figures it out in the second half. It's a little later. But again, by then, you know, again, we're always fighting to come back. We shouldn't be in these positions every time. You know, if you have a whole week to game plan, it shouldn't take you to the third quarter to figure things out.
Yeah.
I don't know that many defensive coordinators that do that. That's something to be seriously concerned about. Because imagine in a serious game right now, we need one game to win. We're going against Dallas. They're whooping our ass like they did before, coming off the gate. Three scores up. Gannon might hold things down a little bit, but then lose it. Like we need him to be on his game. We need him to come in from the first quarter and be prepared, not the third, not the second. From the first quarter, from the time the whistle blows and that ball's kicked off, our defense is prepared. Our players, though, we do have to be concerned because, again, we have to talk about that linebacking core. Alex Singleton is out there just lost, literally lost, looking around on the field like he don't know what's going on. There's so much to be concerned about this defense. And the fact that the defensive line's play has pretty much declined. Javon Hargraves hasn't been heard of. Josh Sweat's still doing his thing out there. But that's pretty much it. Fletcher Cox has a burst here and there. He might have a pressure. I think he had maybe 1.5 sacks in the past 4 games, maybe 5 games. Again, our defensive line's play has declined. Cornerback play, too, Steven Nelson. How horrible has he been as of late? So there's a lot to be concerned about in this defensive between the players and the coach. I'm more concerned about the coach, but I will say there are things to be concerned when you look at the players, too.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I said, man, earlier about Todd Bowles, because you know what? If you look at that, it takes Todd Bowles maybe 1-2 drives max. Not a lot of times does it take 2 drives, but 1 drive. If he has something wrong, that second drive, he don't make that same mistake. You know, that's the big difference. It only takes him that quick of time to make an adjustment to where it takes ours a long time. And that's the difference that wins games.
Yeah. And Jinx Wolf said, you know, I think he's talking about the defense looking prepared. He said besides Detroit, Atlanta, and Denver, well, that's what, 3 games out of 13 so far? So that's not a very good percentage at all. And obviously, Gannon's, you know, he's definitely very wet behind the ears as far as a defensive coordinator, and he has a lot to learn. And if he's smart, he'll be able to try to tweak his system here and there and be able to grow as a coach and adapt. If he's not, if he's a stubborn jackass, then he's going to have a short shelf life as a defensive coordinator. And I'm sure that's not where, you know, he wants to go. Sports of Comment said you can't give up 3 scorings, let alone touchdown drives straight to the Jets unless you're up 40. It's unacceptable. Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, and we're lucky
that's such a huge deficit. Who's to guarantee a team can come back from that?
Right.
When you're already in the first quarter, you're down by 3. Your defense can't put you in a hole that big.
Well, we special teams too, right out the gate. I mean, let the guy almost run the freaking. And shout out to Marcus Epps, by the way, to really, you know, to not let him get by him when he's got his back to him like that. That's probably one of the hardest things to do in football, because I used to play special teams in high school, and I've gotten similar situations like that. But you know, when you get turned around like that, man, good luck. And you know, that was a very good job of him, even though they did end up scoring the touchdown. But you know, just shout out to him for making that tackle, because that's a difficult one to make right there.
Yo, no lie, man. I want to point this out.
I'm going to point this out. 22. He's balling.
Okay.
You got 3 interceptions.
No. I just need to make this point, and I want to make it clear. I'm sorry, but I'm sitting Steven Nelson from here on out. I'm going with either Zach McPherson or Gowan there for now. I truly do not like this guy. I am so upset that I have to sit here and admit that I wanted him here. I mean, he is so underachieved for what I thought he could do for us. And, yeah, man, it's time we need to just get one of these young guns in there. Someone, Vincent Jr., one of these two guys you picked up, or McPherson, someone. Because in my eyes, man, you can't do much worse.
Yeah.
Man, I think it's time we see what we traded Zach Ertz for. It's time to bring Tate Godwin up. Let the guy go out there.
Hell yeah.
It's about that time.
Yeah, he needs to stop being a healthy scratch or whatever they've been calling him. I think his neck is good to go. I've been messaging him a little bit on Twitter and things like that. So he sounds like his rehab is doing good, and I would love to see him get his opportunity to get out there on the field, because I think we all know what he has in his bag of tricks, and his bag is one that we're gonna enjoy as a fan base. I have a good feeling about that, because this kid puts in that hard work, and he's got the athleticism to back it up. So,
yo, no lie, Jinx Moore was out there making Nelson look stupid on Sunday. I mean, straight up stupid. He had him turned around so many times. Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about it. I think he froze.
Oh, I really thought he was about to say something. That's why I was quiet, because I thought he was like,
right? I thought he was too.
Out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, good freeze though. Good freeze. You got me.
Right. No, I'm serious though.
Let me ask a question, because we talked about Coach Gannon. Now, who else on that defensive side of the ball do you think probably doesn't deserve being here? Because when you look at the linebackers coach, we're talking about the defensive line coach, cornerbacks coach. There's, like I said, those are, especially with the linebackers, those have been some deficiencies there. Do you think those guys earn their keep and stay around next season?
Now, before I answer this, I want to ask you this question, okay? And I know I'm asking a question on a question here, and that's unfair, but I'm doing it anyway. Do you believe Rallis's unsuccess came from lack of talent or just lack of development and leadership? Because I don't know if I could truly question him yet because of the shitty fucking talent we gave him to work with this year. I mean, I would love to see him with some more talent, maybe a veteran leadership there, and someone he can truly work with, but I don't know if I'm too hyped to give up on Rallis yet, because how young he is, and you do see how motivated he is, and he loves the game, and he knows what he's doing. But what do you think on that?
Well, when you talk about development, even though he's been here for a short time, let's take a player like Singleton, for instance. There hasn't been any improvement at all. If anything, it's only been a straight decline.
Yeah, but Taylor.
Now, I would, Taylor too. But this is what I would say though. With him, he's probably one of these such, because just like you said, the shit talent we've given him. But my thing is too is, when I look at that, there are some coaches that can overlook that talent and coach their asses off and get guys to where they need to be. Again, for him, he's more of a question mark. Is it because of the talent, or is it because the coach can't get those players where they need to be?
Well, that's
all he was. Go ahead.
TJ Edwards and Davion Taylor have actually had their upcomings under him.
I was literally about to mention TJ Edwards.
So I can't say that. Now, the Singleton thing I can give you, but I mean, Singleton on his own right, he hasn't. He's been a tackling machine, but he also does not. He gets bulldozed a lot. He does. He gets
when we had what we thought was a pretty finished product in Eric Wilson, and he's not even here anymore. You know what I mean? Like, again, I wouldn't. I'm not going to try to scrutinize him so hard, because yes, he's the talent that he has. What he's working with. He's not. But like, when I'm looking at these cornerbacks, I'm looking at, is it really just all Nelson? But then when you look at the safety play, it kind of makes you think too, like, there's a lot going on, because these are guys that, even though they're under Gannon, and we focus on Gannon a lot, there's a lot of guys that, should be getting these guys ready. Rocker, what happened to our defensive line?
Yeah.
Why has it been on a decline for so long?
I'm depressed about that. No, I agree.
Why is it that? And I understand it's hard to try to focus on one player, but let's focus on Derek Barnett. Why is it that he constantly makes these costly mistakes?
Yeah.
Why hasn't that coach got in his face? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's the guy to do it. That's the guy that's going to chew you out on a Tuesday. He's the guy that you're going to review tape with. Where are we at? Again, I don't want to put too much pressure on them because, yeah, it is their first year. Yeah, it is, it could be the talent too, but I haven't seen any improvement so far.
Well, it's not Rocker's first year, though, so he don't have an excuse. I mean, Rocker is 60 years old. He's been doing this
I just mean it's his first year. But I mean it's his first year with the defense and everything. Like, everything's new. Everyone's first year. Everything's new for everyone.
Yeah. But, I mean, teaching a line is teaching a line.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So, if he sits there and he really truly preaches fundamentals, and then you have Derek Barnett doing this stupid shit, you'd think he'd go off and you think he'd stop, but he doesn't. So I do question him, because it's like, bro, you're 60, you've been around, you've coached some really good defensive linemen in college and in the NFL. Like, it's kind of unacceptable. If he was Rallis's age at 27, I could give you that. Be like, all right, he's kind of new. He's 27. He's still wet behind the ears. But Rocker is not that. That's why I'm a little more lenient on Rallis, because he is wet behind the ears, and it's not like he has a God squad to work with his very first time.
Mm-hmm.
But he has made improvements with TJ Edwards and Taylor, and I think he can actually do even more with Sean Bradley and stuff, but we got to wait and see, but he definitely needs a lot more to work with there.
Now, if you were to grade this defensive staff so far this year, what would you give them?
Well, I believe we went ass backwards this year. We're better in the pass and worse in the run, when we used to be better in the run and worse in the pass, correct? Aren't we like sixth in defense in the pass or something like that?
We would statistically be good in the run, but there would be times where team is just focusing on the run, and that would be our weakness, or they're just running all over us. So, we would have ups and downs. Statistically, we would look good, but when you actually see the game, teams at certain times would focus just running on us, because they knew we couldn't stop it because of our linebackers. Once you get to the second level, you only got one guy to beat.
Defensively, man, I think we are up and coming on, and I think we're very close at fixing our cornerback position. I mean, if I was us, I would extend Slay. He is a very big key to this defense. I believe he's a key to our offense as well, helping these young wide receivers grow. The knowledge he brings, not just the wide receivers, but to our cornerback room, is very important. So I believe that's somebody, and especially if he keeps playing at this level, why the hell not? Let him be our own personal Darrelle Revis, so to speak. Let him have his own little Slay Island for the next 5 years or whatever, until he can't go no more. As long as he performs, I don't give a shit how old he is. But the fact is, though, I really like Epps. Epps has come alive under JG. We haven't. I know a lot of people last year were like, "Oh, Epps is trash," blah blah blah. Tree down.
Yep. Listen, it's on the game swing right now. The Tree had better days.
Yeah, but
it's better
like a lot of people.
Better the tree and not the menorah, right?
Yeah. But a lot of people were down on Epps. They thought he couldn't do anything. They thought he was bad, but now you see he's actually come to life for us, and now everyone's on the Epps wagon. And I'm all for it. I always thought Epps had a ceiling, but I didn't know how far he could go, but I liked how he hit. I always thought he was one hell of a hitter, but he looks really good this year. So, maybe he's what Kayvon Wallace should have been, so to speak. Maybe we'll see more of that. I do like where our defense is heading in certain positions, but man, they got to really fucking step it up in other places.
Right. Let's get back to this comment from Sports with Comma.
I was going to ask you to do that right now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. What's the answer? What's the future at linebacker? What do you guys think? I mean, obviously we got to look to the draft. maybe sign a veteran in the offseason. Well, I mean, there's some paths we could definitely take.
It's something like the way you look at the linebacker position is the way you look at sales. You got to hit linebacker. You got to hit them hard. You got to go to the draft. You have to make smart moves in free agency. Not just go for the best linebacker, whoever's going to get top money. Go for someone that fits this system, that is for this system. That's what you need to do. You need to make linebacker a priority. That's how you fix that. That's how you fix linebacker. You actually make it a priority and focus on it and put some money behind it. Then we can get better at it. But until they make it a priority, we're going to be running this ring. We're going to be in that cycle constantly, time and time again.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. You definitely probably have to draft one. I am all for getting the kid from Penn State, Smith. Like this kid is going to be a monster, and I'm just not being biased here. He's really, really good, and you could possibly get him, with your second or even third pick in this draft. So that's how I would go. But I also believe, we should take a corner as well. Possibly. I am all for Booth. I really think Booth is a good selection for us. And then I don't know about Kyle Hamilton, man. That might be a reach for us at our position. I really do want him, but I know, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get him unless we move up. But
do it.
That one's tough, man. I really want him. Like, if you got to move, but it's all for what you're giving up, though, too. I mean,
It's like that Ben Stiller. It's like that scene with what the heck was that Starsky and Hutch with Ben Stiller? Do it. Do it. Do it. Go get it.
No, I feel you, man.
It's Hamilton or bust for me. Hamilton or bust. Like you cannot leave this draft this season without Kyle Hamilton. Again, we've been looking for a safety since Dawkins. We had one in a short time in Jenkins, but again, he was a free agent. We only had him for a spell. We got a Super Bowl out of that. We need our guy again. We need to draft a safety again next year. What is our safety position going to look like?
Apps.
The void behind, just like the void behind AK. That's what's going to look like.
Apps. We got a good. I think he's starting caliber. I really think he is.
We will see. Hopefully he can be.
But we need another piece, though. We need someone next to him because Harris is more than likely going to be gone, and McLeod is definitely on the back nine of his career. So we don't even know, what's going to happen with him either. So, but
he's an injury away from retirement right now.
Absolutely, he is.
Yeah, it's not even a serious injury, and I don't wish that on no one.
No,
you know what I mean? Like he's a soft tissue injury from being retired.
But Sports with Comments coming with the great questions tonight. And looking back, would you have taken Parsons over Smith in the draft?
No.
I mean, Parsons is showing that he is a generational talent, like a lot of us thought he was going to be. I mean, I know you guys were high on him, coming out of college. So, but AK, what are your thoughts on that? Hindsight's always 20/20. But I mean, if you knew what you knew then, what would you do?
What you know, no. That's it. What you know, no.
Right? You remember?
This is the thing, though, man. If we didn't take Smith with our first pick, I don't know where you fill in a wide receiver on that draft board. And then you sit there and you're stuck with fucking Rager, Ward, Hightower, and JJ, and like Watkins, and that's just even a worse scenario. So, I mean, I don't think I'd take it back, but I knew what Parsons was going to be. I mean, anyone knowledgeable of Parsons knew who Parsons was going to be. It does not surprise me that he's a monster, but yeah, I would have loved to have him on this team, but not at the price of giving up Smith.
Yeah,
I got
definitely. I mean, I'd have to echo what AK said. What would this team look like? What record would we have without Smith? Because our offense would look way worse. Our defense would look good, and it would look. We would have a linebacker. We'd actually have a linebacker. But the thing is, again, like AK mentioned, what would this offense look like? We weren't running the ball. Who would that be throwing to? Would it have been Quez Watkins? Would it have been Rager? They don't even depend on them now. Imagine their usage then. We would seriously probably be just a running team.
Would JJ be getting more playing time?
It would have been JJ's season.
Yeah.
AK would have been wearing his jersey.
No lie though, man. I
would stick with our pick. I like it. I think there's big things to come for Devontae Smith, and I'm happy that we got him. I really am. What were we gonna say, AK?
No, I was gonna say on the draft thing though, man. There is one dude I am very interested in for the draft this year, and he is a defensive player, and I would not mind getting him. And that's Jordan Davis from Georgia. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he's a 6'6" defensive tackle, and he's very, very fast and very, very big. Like we're talking Mailata big. And
wow.
Yeah, he could definitely fill in a nice role for Fletcher. So I'm just saying I would not mind Jordan Davis at all.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good scenario there.
Yeah, he's very fast, dude. He's got wicked speed for a 6'6", 360-pound man, I think.
It's back.
We're back up. We're back up. This thing's heavy as hell, guys. Jesus. I go a little too hard for Christmas. My kids love it. That's the only reason why. I don't really care for it. You know that. Christmas ain't about for me. It's all about the kids.
Hurt now wallet.
Dude.
But it's worth it.
Always.
Yeah, just to see smiles. Smiles. I pay for smiles. That's what I'm in the business. Paying for smiles.
So Vic, do you get them Christmas presents, or do you give them Hanukkah presents?
Well, for them, with the kids, like my son now, like he's in this position where he talked to today. He was like, I just want to learn, just want to figure out, because that's what my thing is with my kids. Like I left them open, both of my older two, they're baptized, but they've always known it's whatever they want. I'm not gonna force my kids to be Catholic. I'm not gonna force them to be whatever they want. Yeah. That's up to them, because that's something that they're gonna live with. I'm not gonna be around for long. You know what I mean? They can't wait for me or trust in me for their whole life. They got to figure things out on their own. And religion is something that I feel that they should, because it's something they should be comfortable with. It should be something that's forced upon them.
Agreed. Definitely.
Yeah, but like I said, he's at that point now where he wants to read all different books. He's asking to get like the Quran. He wants to get him a Bible. Like he wants to just read it, just to know what's the story with every religion.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah. Definitely.
But it's a fun time because, like I said, you get used to best of both worlds.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for me being Puerto Rican too, we celebrate Three Kings Day, so we're carrying this party on until January.
There you go.
What about y'all? What y'all got planned up? Are the trees up? The lights up? Kids happy?
Trees up, lights are up, everything. Yep.
Menorah's lit. Yep. Absolutely.
It's wild, man. Like I told my kid, I was like, this is probably the earliest I've ever gotten a tree. And there were a lot of places that were sold out.
Yeah.
I feel like it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah. You said you went and cut your own down?
Yeah. Because it was close to my final, and I was seriously like less than a mile away from my house, and I never knew. So I was like, I might as well give him a shot. I took my son up there. I had him do it. I'm too old for that stuff. I don't need to cut it no more. He's 17. He's young and spry. Get down there and cut it off.
Little bit.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, man. Like that's my pride. My kids are my pride, and now like this is his senior year. Like for me, this is all new. Like I'm at that. Like I can't believe like he might be leaving. I don't want him to leave. But you're old enough. Get the fuck out. Like you go through all those emotions. But I mean, it's fun as a father because for me now, like I'm gonna help him out. Like something my dad never did. Like no one ever helped me out and gave me some hints on what it is to be an adult. No one ever took that time with me to do that. You know, I damn sure gonna make do that for all my kids.
Yep.
That's awesome. You know, that's and that's what makes you you. You know, that's a part of being a very good dad. You know, it's very awesome to hear. Love it. And I wanted to get your guys' opinion on, you know, there's been a lot of whispers and talks about Jason Kelsey possibly retiring at the end of this year. So do you guys think, you know, what they told that this game is taking on his body, even though he is still playing at a pretty high level? You know, do you think this is his farewell tour? You know, these last, what do we got? 4 games left? Yeah, we got 4 games left. And, you know, it could be the close of a very, very special career for a very unique individual, to say the least. So what do you guys think about Kels?
I'll say this. Growing up as a kid, I've always heard people talk about Concrete Charlie. Now he was one of the greatest Eagles ever. Now it was great to see him play and the tenacity he played. Man, he broke Frank Gifford's sternum during a championship game, and it was like what, the last play of the game? You like if you ever see that picture of Charlie looking down, you know how iconic that is? Now that's something that we missed out on, but we all got to see Jason like his whole career. We got to see it all. Like we were able to see a Hall of Famer from start to beginning. Like he is our greatest Eagle center. Could possibly one the greatest Eagle ever. Let's talk about it. You know, we always say Dawkins gets that role. But when you look at Jason Kelsey, the things that he's done, come on, man. That parade, dressing up in the Mummers gear, the way he's talking to the fans. Because when you talk to him, it's like he's one of us. He's a fan himself. He wants his team to do good. He thinks about this team like a fan does. You know, he's our guy. And for him to retire for me on my end, you know, I would wish him the best of luck, you know, because I know you can't play this game forever. Father Time is undefeated. Look at LeBron James. He's fighting as hard. He about to get knocked the hell out by Father Time soon. His hairline can't keep it up either. But for Jason Kelsey, man, like I said, he's had a great career. You know, he got us to Super Bowl. He's been to the promised land. He's done everything and anything a football player could do on the field. If he wants to retire, my God, congratulations to you. That's all I got to say.
You know, man, I have watched Kels his whole career, just like my boy Vic, from start to end. And you know what? Jason Kelsey is Philadelphia, hands down. All right. He is what it truly means to be a Philadelphia Eagle, hands down. And in my opinion, nobody will ever fill the shoes of this man once he's gone. All right. He has truly been the solid point of this offensive line from the moment he got here. You know, he really has. And he's never looked back and he's never questioned anything. He's only done everything that was asked of him, and he gave it his all. And that is why we love him. You know, he's played injured, he's played battered, he's played bloody, he's played bruised. But you know what? He's always fucking been there, man. Always. Every day.
Yeah, he's a true Iron Man.
He really is. You know, and listen, I know he said last year, like, he'll go until his body tells him to. Well, take my advice, bro, and just go. Your body's telling you to. Listen, I don't want to see the best Eagle in history not be able to walk when he's old. No lie. Like, you've done enough for us. You've given everything you've got. Just, hey, if we make it this year, bro, go out on a high note. Don't be like, oh, there's so much forward more to look to, you know. I'll try one more. No, just do yourself a favor and go out as number one. You know, that's literally all I ask. You know.
Yeah. And he really is a warrior of a competitor. He's played hurt. He's played through a lot of injuries. He's played through sickness. I mean, he'd have to be handcuffed to a hospital bed.
Yeah.
I mean, to not play football for this team, and that's what you call, dedication. That's what you call putting your heart and soul into your craft, into your profession. And he has, not only been an absolute stellar performer out there as the anchor of our offensive line, but I think you guys are right. He is, in our generation, I think he's the best offensive lineman that we've had, and that's saying something because we've had Trey Thomas, we've had John Runyon, Jason Peters, Lane Johnson. So we've had a lot of good offensive linemen, throughout the year is in our lifetimes.
I'm sorry, bro, but he might go down to the best.
Absolutely.
I would never argue that he is not.
Yeah.
I mean, he was part of the. I mean, he brought home something that no other offensive lineman could, and that's that's
like
the hardware.
When he retires, you're gonna have a picture of him in his jersey playing, but you will also see him at that parade in front of that podium with that Mummers outfit. Like, you don't understand how much that meant for him just to go out there, because that shows you he's Philly. I mean, you can't get more Philly than a Mummers.
No lie, bro. We need to start a petition the day after that he retires. We demand them to put that moment.
That jersey and him in the Ring of Honor.
No. That moment of him in that Mummer suit, that needs to be a statue out front of Philly.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Him in a Mummer suit outside of Philly. Now, you want to talk about a statue that represents Philly. You want to talk about a statue that represents us. That's a fucking statue. And he deserves one.
And if you've ever been to the link, you know how they have those big, huge pictures. They used to have one of the cars. That's it. Kelsey, put them up.
Yeah.
Put them up.
And absolutely, first ballot Hall of Famer, ultimate success story, 6th round pick, biggest steal of all time, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've always said he's the little engine that could.
Brady, probably, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's what a lot of people do compare him to, because of he is a 6th round pick. Yeah, that's the next guy you think of, Tom Brady. And look at that. Our center, we're talking about our center, is being compared to the greatest quarterback of all time just because of their careers and where they were at.
Yeah.
It says a lot. It says a lot. And the thing is, this is the best accomplishment that he has, and I hope that he wins it. This year, he's been nominated as the Walter Payton Man of the Year for the Eagles. He's done a lot of great community service for years. And it hasn't been, he hasn't been talked about. And for all the nominees, I think that everything that they've done, it should be praised for. I congratulate all of them for doing the work, because you've done so much for your communities to get on that, to be even thought of. And Kelsey, what I'm saying? Like, he's one of those guys. So shout out to him. I hope he wins the award.
I do too, man.
Seriously. He's going to, because especially there's a good chance that he's going to retire. Then yes, I think they're going to give it to him. It'd be just to go out on a high note, because the team is not winning at a high rate this year, so they definitely want to give him something to hit right off into the sunset, because he really, really deserves it. He does.
No lie, bro. I'd even go as far to saying this guy deserves to be on the top 100 team of the decade.
Definitely.
Like, you can't have football without Kels. You can't.
And he would be a great ambassador for the team.
Yeah.
Because he's able to play at a high level with the size that he is.
Yeah.
He has that athleticism. He's able to, for a center, to get to that second level, to be able, you see him on those plays where we're on the outside and he's pulling and he's getting to that second level. He's making blocks left and right. He's clearing the way for the running backs, for the receivers. And that's not a thing that a lot of centers can do.
No.
A lot of the guys, they just block. They're not mobile like that. That's more for guards and maybe some tackles, but not really centers usually.
Kelsey's out here taking people's souls.
Yes.
Well, I was say another iconic moment with him is the Detroit game in the snow. Him running alongside with Shady.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Just when you have your center along with your running back, and they're just looking at each other like, whoever comes up, I'm gonna kill.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's perfect with the snow coming down, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, he's an icon. That's what I'm gonna say. He's a Philadelphia Eagles icon.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so I think I'm getting tired. I've been up since 5 a.m. Pacific time, so definitely my eyes are getting a little burnage going on in the eyes. So if you guys
want to answer Richie's comment real fast?
Yeah.
Well, what I see it.
Then we'll get our closing
twice, so
we'll get our closing comments, and then Travis Kelce for Dallas Goedert. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because he said if Kels is traded, we'll bring him.
You hit a soft spot with me, my guy. You already hit a soft spot. How can I turn down two brothers being united?
Right?
Like I couldn't. Listen, just for that, I couldn't. You tell me if Gronk was on our team, I'll take one of his corny ass brothers. I'll take him. Record that moment when they see each other. Put that bitch up on TikTok. It's cherishing. It's awesome. Listen, I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Would you, AK?
For one season, yeah, why not? You know how many fucking tickets will sell just because of those two alone?
Yeah. But here's how emotional both of them would be. And imagine if we would win with them. How great that would be. For two brothers, I think the McCourty brothers were the last ones to do it. Yeah. But imagine if they could. That'd be amazing.
See, that's why I thought JJ would have went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, bro, because I thought they would try and do it, but they didn't. And that surprised me.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I would do it. I mean, I think that's a pretty good swap at tight end. I mean, they would. I don't know if the Eagles would, if they could restructure Travis's contract, because I know he's making a lot of money. So that would definitely.
There's no slight on Goddard neither. Listen, we're talking about the city of brotherly love. All right, we gotta bring families together.
we're just talking hypothetically.
Exactly.
It would be awesome to see.
It would never happen.
Bottom line, right? Yeah. It would be a great story, though. Brotherly love, brothers. Yeah.
At one time, I honestly thought we were going to trade Jason over to Kansas City.
I would have fucking been furious.
Yeah.
Because there was a time, I think it was like 2016, when everyone was a little upset with his play. And I remember the little rumblings on how people were saying they should trade him. I know they're hating himself now, but talk back then.
No.
I guess Detroit's got brothers on the D line.
Oh, really? That's
yeah.
Awesome. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Hey man, it's all eyes on me. That's why I do it.
Put the weed down, Richie.
Hey, the face sells. The face sells. That's the moneymaker right there. That's all you need.
I just want you focused on me, man. That's all it's
about. Were you doing the Ashton Kutcher from what is that? Cheaper by the Dozen. This is the moneymaker. Have you seen that?
Right. Moneymaker.
You can't be damaging the moneymaker, honey. I'm not that good of an actor. I know that.
That's so true, though. It's so true.
Right. Yeah, it is. That's what's funny about that shit, too. It really is.
That guy scares the shit out of me in real life, though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Ashton Kutcher?
Ashton Kutcher has his hands in all of tech. Like, yeah, he's a mogul.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's nasty with it. He did that. What is the Steve Jobs movie? And I don't know what he got into that life. He's all about the tech.
Yep, I've heard that. I've seen that too. All right, so you guys want to give your closing comments and let everybody know where they can find you at, all that good stuff before we get up out of here.
I'll start it off.
We'll fight over it.
Right. You know what it is, man. It's Victor. You see me in the chats. You see me with my guys, always supporting great Eagles content. You always catch me with these two up top, right here on the East Meets West podcast. And you'll always see me after every Eagles game. Now, this week we have a bye week, so I get some rest off this week, just like the team does. But I'll be right back at it next week when we're hitting up the Redskins. Hopefully, we'll be discussing a win. But again, please support my guys. You know what I mean? Like, subscribe, like, and don't be greedy. Share out the great content. I'm Victory. Thank you for tuning in, fellas. Say your piece.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's AK Eagles from the Eagles Uncensored podcast. I am at 270 subs, on the way to 300, trying to get there before Christmas. So, would love the help. Appreciate everyone who is and has. So, yeah, until next time, like he said down below, it's always great working with these two gentlemen. They are my brothers in crime. We talk every day. We do our thing. We come on here. We present ourselves to you, give you information. Love talking to each and every one of you. Thank you for all the support. We're growing each and every day. So don't forget, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for each of us. And, yeah, I am AK Eagles. I may fuss and cuss, but you can count on me and my content like the fucking city bus. And if you like the Wagyu, subscribe too. You know what it is, guys. Have a great night.
Absolutely. Very well said, guys. And yes, you guys know how it goes. You guys are the food and the water. Without you, this thing doesn't grow. So continue doing your thing, continue sharing the content. We really, really appreciate all of the people being in the chat tonight. Shout out to everybody. There was too many people in there to shout out everybody, but salute to everybody. We still got 4 people in here. So salute to the people who have been with us the whole time. If you have, we really, really appreciate it. Make sure you go hit that thumbs up on all 3 channels. It really, really helps push the content out there more and more. So, yes, this has been another great episode of the East Meets West podcast with my guys here, and I'm enjoying this thing. So, you know what?
Can I make one request?
Absolutely.
I just want to say first, before we end this, very special thank you to Key in the building for making that.
I'm going to roll it again. It's going to be the outro, too.
I would think it would be appropriate, if we show off her work. Let everybody know what it is. Again, shout out to Key in the building. Yes. Thank you so much. Always there for us.
Big shout. Definitely. Thank you, Key. Again, thank you so much for everything. We really, really appreciate you doing that for us. And yes, I'm gonna run that before we get up out of here. So until next time, we fly until we die. Stay mean, stay green. Thanks for viewing us on your screen. But most importantly, like I always say, keep it fuego. All right, y'all. We out of here.
Everybody.
Have a great night. Be safe. Love y'all.
Monk.